Welcome to part 2 on the Polaris Sportsman 600 from 2004. I picked this thing up for $700 a couple videos ago from a guy that actually rebuilt the whole thing and made it into a Sportsman 700. 700 head, cylinder, crank, rebuilt the whole engine, and he said he got it to fire up one time and then it quit. So we actually found out that the lifter, then we found out that the woodruff key was sheared off on the flywheel. It was causing all sorts of problems. I think I still have the key here. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it causes major problems right there. There's the key. It was completely cut in half. We were getting spark, but it was kind of sporadic. And obviously it was sparking at the wrong time, so it wasn't starting. And yeah, we fixed that and she fired right up. But now we've got coolant in the oil. And it looks like coolant's just leaking out of here, out of the pump here. You can see droplets forming on the bottom of it. Yeah, one just dropped. So we got a brand new water pump seal kit, a new gasket, and this thing should be good as new once we replace that. So we've got to get this whole cover off to replace the pump. We've got to drain the coolant, drain the oil, and then we can finally take this thing for the first ride. So that's the plan for today. Here's the rebuild kit over here. Just got it off of, I think it was eBay or Amazon. This is what it looks like. We got a new shaft as well. A lot of times these shafts actually have corrosion on it, and then when you put the seal on the shaft, the seal doesn't seal it because there's corrosion on the shaft. So whenever you buy a rebuild kit, buy the shaft as well. I've seen people put brand new seals on and they're like, well, it's not sealing. And that's because the shaft is all corroded. Here's the seal kit. A bunch of different seals in here. Bearings, and then there's the water pump down there. So we're gonna put all that in today. So let's get going on this thing and see if we can get this thing to run good as new when we're done with it. All right, we got the footwell out of here. Right here, just held on by a couple bolts. We're first going to drain the coolant out of here. I believe the bolt right here is for the coolant, but we will see. One of these is. Let's see what's going on. Looks like I've got coolant coming out a little bit. Let's see if I pop the cap here. Huh. I don't see any coolant anywhere. What the heck? This is the drain plug right here. Not sure which one's the drain. One of them has to have coolant in it. Maybe we just take off the whole cover. That way we know. Oh, that's dripping coolant now. So this whole cover's, I guess, gonna pop off of here. Oh, geez. Oh boy. Probably not the best way to do that. Yeah, we pretty much got that everywhere. So that part wasn't leaking at least. It looks like he put a new pump in there. Huh, maybe he put the seals in wrong, or... Oh, you know what? The silicone right there maybe was leaking into the engine. We'll see. Alright. Yeah, there's actually some coolant in there, it looks like. I don't think that's reverse thread. Don't think, anyway. What size is that? 13 or 14 millimeter. Looks like 13. Let's see if it comes off here. Yep, so it wasn't reverse thread. Well, that's not coming off. Let's see if we can get the flywheel off of here. Got her puller on, let's see if we can pull it off here. There we go. Alright. Always had Loctite on them. Just gonna let that dangle there for a second. So it looks like he used Loctite on these, but not on the main engine parts. Okay, I think this whole thing can come off now. The whole thing's not coming off, it's just trying to hit the impeller. I think I finally got this thing off. There we go. He put silicone on that, I think, because he thought it was leaking. Yeah, that seal is junk. Let's see, now this whole cover can come off. At least I think it can. There we go. Yeah, look, that seal. Huh, completely toast in there. What the heck, it's all ripped up in there. Looks horrible. So, well, good thing we got a new seal, because that was the problem. We'll see if we need to do that. But then you left all the old gasket material on here too, and just tried to silicone around it. That's probably why that leaked. Yeah, all the old gasket material's left on here. It was really bad. Really, really bad. So you can see all the milky oil. That seal is just really chewed up in there. It's awful. And it's like you just put silicone around it, thinking that would prevent it from leaking. Yikes. It also looks like our timing's off by 1 tooth as well. So right here you can see on this gear, the dot's right there and the other dot's right there. So that dot needs to be lined up with that dot. This one's good, that dot and that dot look good. But yeah, that's not lined up. So that's probably why it broke the woodruff key. Timing was a little bit off there. We're going to try to take off this gear and try to move it. that was Loctited in. A couple of springs fell. One right there. And we'll find another spring quick. Gently take this off of here. I'll have to rotate that crank somehow to get this to line up, but we gotta take this out first. How do you do that? Alright, so we got this all timed back up properly. I found out that he was using the wrong washer on here, so it wasn't pushing down all the way. So he was using this washer. As you can see, it's flat and it can't go over that. We needed this washer that can go over that like that, so it can press down all the way on it. He had the wrong one in there, so that's why that wasn't working either. Now it's nice and tight. This one right here wasn't getting pushed in far enough because I had the wrong washer on it. So let's see, is there an out on this one? Nope. So everything was loose in here. So now timing is spot on. Let's try to rotate it. Yep. That's awesome. So everything's now tight in there. Before it was really, really loose. You can move this back and forth. In order to get this out, you have to take all these gears out, pull this out, and this is actually attached to a bearing in here. There's 4 bolts underneath here, and you can pull the whole bearing out with the shaft. The thing is, I don't have a press to press the new rod back into the bearing. So, upon further inspection, this looks pretty clean. So we're just gonna take a gamble and see if that works. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to buy a press and press it onto the new bearing. But for now, we're just gonna put a new seal on there and hope that that works. All right, we're working on the water pump. You can see the seal that popped out of here. This was in here like this. And I just pried this up like that, and that popped out. So that was not sealing at all. All this gasket maker came out of it. And then this one was in from the back side. So it goes down like that. And I just took a socket, pounded that out. And now we're gonna clean up the surface in here, make sure that's all nice and good before installing the new ones, but that wasn't sealing at all either. All right, went ahead and cleaned up all the surfaces. All the gasket maker was still left on there from before. I could see a bunch of raised black gasket on here underneath the red silicone. We cleaned up the surfaces in here with brake cleaner. Everything looks super spotless in there. So now we're going to take this part of the seal right here, and we're not going to use anything, no sealer, nothing on here, and we're just going to jam that in there. A driver. Actually take this out, it looks like. Make sure it's going in straight. You can see it's going in. and she's in all the way, it looks like. A couple extra taps. And this just sits right in here. Like that, and gets pushed down. And then came with this seal right here that goes over the impeller shaft once we get this back on. This was in there. You can see all the seals just were off of it. It's crazy. So that turned into that. Alright, now we've got to get the other seal on. So this one, I'm just going to put a dab of grease on it for better sealing. Alright, and then you can just push this one in. Like that. Springs to the outside. That's all good to go. Alright, we got a brand new gasket for it. This came separate from the water pump kit. We're just going to grease this up with some grease. That way if we have to take it off again, it's easy. Put that in. Both sides. That goes right there like that. Alright, back to the side of the engine here. So I cleaned off the surface with the razor blade. This isn't black gasket or anything, that's just stain. Cleaned it off with a razor blade. Everything looks good. A little scratch right here, and put a little bit of gasket maker right there, and then one right there. There's a little divot from when the guy tried to take off the case. I'm guessing he took a screwdriver in there and tried to split it open. The gasket maker. There's just a couple divots right here and right there. That. This one gets put on like. And now this one came with it. You can see there's two sides. One's like a stone material and one's like a rubberized gasket material. This one faces out towards the impeller. Because what happens is this grabs on to those little teeth in there and makes it grip. Goes on just like that. The impeller goes on. Washer, and then the nut. And I'll get that screwed in. Alright, we've got the stator back on and then the flywheel back on. Alright, that looks good to go. We'll get all the bolts in, cover back on, and we should be pretty much done. Alright, oil drain plug is going to be directly underneath the engine here. Hard to see that hole. One of the main holes here. What is some milky oil in there coming out? It's all gray. Some of it's clear, some of it's milky. It's pretty gross. Definitely need to be changed. Alright, here's what that oil looked like. You can see all the milky oil down below, all the fresh oil on top. Alright, let's add some oil to it. This thing takes about 2 quarts. We'll add some coolant and then we'll check the oil once we start it up. Alright, let's add some coolant right to here. Alright, let's see if she fires up. We've got coolant in there, we've got oil in there. Let's see if we're good to go. Smoke in the bunch. smoky. Hopefully that smoke goes away once the ring's seat. But yeah, it's running pretty good though. We got this thing all back together and complete. A couple more things I want to do to this thing before we take it for the first ride and test out the transmission. Because I'm guessing that's gonna be good too. Let's check the oil in the transmission. So there's a plug right there. Check level. Plug right there. Let's get that out of there. Getting the breaker bar out. I think we got it. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, stuff is pouring out. We're good. There's a big crack in the plastic right here on the fender, so we're gonna plastic weld this back together. Here's what the plastic welder looks like. Just hook that into the plug, push the button. Should turn red. I can see turning bright red. You're good to go. That crack is all repaired. Nice and strong now. All right, time to find out if she moves. Let's see what happens here. I wouldn't doubt the transmission's junk. it's really smoky. I don't know if the guy just did a bad job rebuilding it. I don't know. Alright, we're here at the land. This thing is so loud. Every neighbor was looking at me when I was riding it at my house, so we decided to come to the land and try it out. Just a little too loud for at the house. But right now it's running good. It's just really smoky. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm thinking hopefully the pipe is full of oil and it's just burning off. I know the guy said that before he rebuilt it, it was really smoky too. So maybe there's just excess oil in the pipe. I'm hoping, because everything else is running really good. But we'll see, we'll unload it and take it for a test drive. First ride on it. Let's see if we can get it to stop smoking. It's running great. It's not overheating anymore. It's high right there. first ride went really well. So yeah, it's running really good. It's still smoking quite a bit though. I'll quick show you guys the smoke. It seems like it's getting a little bit better. Let's see. Maybe it's not. It's pretty smoky. We're gonna ride around some more and try to get that smoke to go away. I'm hoping it's just the pipe, but it might not be. I'll turn this fan off for a little bit. Knowing what I know with like the bolts and the top end being loose, nothing with Loctite, the washers on the other side being incorrect, all the stuff incorrectly put on, I'm thinking maybe he did the top end wrong too. So, you know, maybe he didn't put the rings in correctly or pinched the ring or something maybe happened where it's not sealing properly. So that's unfortunate, but it runs great at least. Has good power. Just is really, really smoky. Check these bad boys out. Very fitting for the 4th of July. Supposedly these light up and everything. Let's see. Oh, apparently they don't light up. Here's a button right here for it. We're not getting anything. I think there's a remote right here too. Darn, it doesn't work. Well, we have the flags at least. Alright, the smoke is not quitting. So, I don't know what the guy did when he rebuilt this thing, but obviously he didn't do it correctly because it's smoking a lot. We're going to quick check the oil, make sure it's not milky. Hopefully we at least did the water pump correctly. Let's see here. Oh, super clear. I think it's a little bit low, but it's very clear. Yeah, look how clear that is. See, it's up to the first dot, so I think it might be burning oil because we put 2 quarts in and that was full before. Huh. So oil is seeping by somewhere on it. But hey, at least our fixes worked. That's good. Alright, I just ended up talking to the seller. I messaged him on Facebook again, and I asked, are you for sure? You know, it was a new cylinder, new pistons and everything, and he said yes, it came in a kit. The pistons came in a kit, the rings came in a kit, the cylinder came in a kit. He said the head was used, and I asked him if he replaced the valve seals. He said no. And I said, is there a possibility that the valve seals could be missing? He said, could be. So maybe it's the valve seals on it. Because you wouldn't think brand new pistons, brand new cylinders would let that much oil through. So I wonder if he never even installed the valve seals. Got a used head and then never put seals in. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I think next video we're going to have to go through the top end, try to fix this thing, and see if we can get rid of that smoking problem. It should be interesting. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for the next one. And until next time, we are out.